This is Match Week. You are joined by myself, Ardi Emini. We discuss everything soccer from the highs and the lows in the sporting week to the news that is relevant to you. You're listening to Top of the Hour on WMC Upper Montclair. And this is Match Week. Oh, we're back. Inject it into my veins. Besmir, finish it off.
Y este es Match Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, after a long hiatus, after hiding from us for so long because of how horrendous Chelsea have been, he finally made his studio appearance back in. It is Besmir Zuta. We were also joined by Dimitrios Rodriguez. And, of course, Steven over here. He tied me up again. I'm tied in a corner. I can only talk. He is board hopping. It is Steven Moncayo. Steven, how we doing?
I'm doing amazing, guys. How you doing?
Now, here's the thing, Steven. You don't have your own microphone today, so I can just cut you out completely anytime I want to. Guys, how we feeling? How we vibing right now about what's going on in the world?
Doing good. Arsenal top of the league, like for the first time in God knows how long. And I just found out Besmir is a Chelsea fan, so it's gonna be pretty good. So what place are you? 5th, 6th right now?
It's actually like 8th, but yeah, I mean, we'll talk when you guys win a Champions League. We can have that conversation then. So never.
He always has a counterpoint.
Well, listen, it's absolutely wonderful to be back. It's been quite a while. I'm very good at playing hide and seek. I hid, but you didn't come looking. So, but listen, I'm happy to be here. It's always a great time. If you had told me there was going to be an Arsenal fan here today, I'm not sure if I would have showed up.
Exactly, that's why I didn't.
I would have pulled the "Hey, I have a head cold" thing, but
which you've done plenty of time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You say that again, but no, excited to be here. I mean, we're currently in the midst of the best month we can ask for every 4 years. So
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
So World Cup's a big thing, right? It's the I think I have to say this has been probably the most insane World Cup that we've seen in our lifetime. I know with Besmir and I, because we've basically grown up watching World Cup together, like, nonstop. And, like, Besso, I feel this is more memorable than the 2014 or the 2010 one. With some of the results that's happened.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just there's been a little bit of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the quarterfinals, we saw a team give up a lead late and then lose. A team give up the lead late and then win. Morocco pulling off an upset, which we can talk more about later, but I don't think it's really a fair upset because Morocco's talented. Like, we've seen it all. Some people would argue yesterday's penalty was a bit controversial, but, it's been a World Cup that's had it all. So it's just been unpredictable to say the least, and that's what makes everything exciting. That's what soccer's all about, right? There's been some really good points, like VAR's been much better and everything.
By the way, the USA got knocked out, so we can't call it soccer.
So for any England supporters, let me make something clear. I saw something great on social media, and it said, imagine England coming here and winning an SEC football championship. Us playing as well as England, or outplaying them or drawing them, whatever, in soccer, is similar to them coming over here to play the sport we invented and beating us in football. Like, that's how crazy that was. And listen, I have to respect that, man. I have to respect that. I think the U.S. had a good showing at the World Cup. I have certain opinions about the coaching staff and whatnot that I don't want to air publicly.
Oh, yeah, you know why? Because Besmir, I mean, rightfully so, he had to have this belief, but he's on the belief that, like, in 10 years' time, he'll be the one in charge.
Well, it would be 12 years because of the World Cups every 4 years, but that's not the point.
That's not the point. That's not the propaganda he's trying to push right now.
Listen, I'm just here supporting the U.S. I mean, listen, the scary part is, besides Tim Ream, I'm trying to think of a single player that won't be back for the next World Cup. And, we're on home soil, and I have such a talented squad. It's going to be even better. I think this was a good lesson. Even though, we want to win every tournament, we weren't ready for it. Croatia wasn't ready for it.
I mean, look, the midfield alone for the U.S., it's young. 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, I mean, Yunus Musa's so good, dude.
He is.
I know Tyler Adams is fantastic. Weston McKinney's awesome. Everyone else, Yunus Musa, dude, he's so special.
You know what it is? He has that La Liga flair to him. That's the only way to explain him. He has like that flair that La Liga gives to players that play in the league.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a well-rounded player. I mean, let's not talk physically. He's fast as heck. You know, but he's good on the ball. He's smart. He's great in 1v1s. You know, especially through the middle. It's unreal how comfortable he is on the ball. You know, I mean, he's one of those players that kind of flies under the radar when everyone talks about the best players on our national team and the most promising. Listen, Gio Reyna's talented. He's special. Pulisic is special. McKinney, Adams. But Yunus Musa, I just love this kid. He's awesome.
Here's the alley they paint it right now. I think Berhalter is the American equivalent of Southgate. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, 100%.
Except Southgate takes his teams to World Cup semifinals and European Championship finals and stuff.
And chokes.
And well, listen, I wouldn't place the last loss on him. I mean, I think he did rather well this World Cup, Gareth Southgate. And let's be real, as international managers come, there's a handful that you can say would succeed at the club level. Most international managers are cut from a different cloth.
Yeah.
You know, Jesse Marsh, who is an absolute baller.
Yes.
You know, he's like, listen, he goes, international football is different than, you know, club football. And it's just the name of the game. You know, it feels different because it is different. You know, so it takes a different kind of manager. Besides Louis van Gaal and, I mean, I'm trying to think who else has managed.
Ronald Koeman that's taking over Van Gaal now.
Is he? Is he the next? So Ronald Koeman is, and then I'm trying to think.
Luis Enrique?
Yeah, and Luis Enrique. But who else has been a club manager that you can think of? Like,
Not really, no. A lot of them are just like, championship level and like,
What do we think
bottom league.
I mean, speaking of international managers, what do we think of the rumors of Mourinho managing Roma and Portugal at the same time?
I didn't even hear that rumor.
if it was FIFA career mode, maybe.
I don't know, but it's like he's heavily linked right now after the bottle job Santos had for Portugal.
I don't think Mourinho would do it for the sole fact that Mourinho is one of those. What's the right way to put it? He's almost like a psychopath coach. He gets so invested in the projects he's working in. Him being my idol. I love, Jose. He's phenomenal. But I don't think he would take on the Portugal job, knowing that it would interfere, it would conflict, whether anyone wants to say it will or won't, with him managing Roma.
Yeah.
And to him being successful with Roma and continuing to build the club into a league and continental powerhouse is more important right now. Remember Mourinho's still young. Mourinho's got decades left in his career.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of time for him to manage the national team. I don't think it makes sense for him right now, honestly. And he's just one of those managers that is too valuable to the club level, to the European game at the club level. It's almost like, imagine Thomas Tuchel took over for like Greg Berhalter for the U.S. national team or for Germany or for Spain. Like, yeah, it would be great because you have a mastermind tactician, but you get to see him, once every couple months? Once every 2 years, every 4 years in a big tournament? Those are the great minds in football we need to see week in, week out. Week in, week out.
Right.
It's Louis van Gaal, he can stick to international football.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the energy for club football anymore.
Leave him alone. That man, what he did
He
for
always
United.
complains. No
No,
matter
what
what,
he
always
did for
cries.
United, you cannot disrespect him. He helped them get second place, won them an FA Cup.
Oh, I love Louis van Gaal. Listen,
So do I. I love him.
the U.S. lost to the Netherlands because Louis van Gaal out-coached, out-maneuvered
Yeah.
Greg Berhalter. It's just the way it works.
They got unlucky against Argentina, dude.
Yeah. Listen, how simple is it, right? They go down a couple goals, so he goes, okay, we're just gonna start putting balls into the box and have Weghorst and all these guys just win the ball in the air.
Broadcast, dude.
Weghorst is 8 feet tall.
No, dude, that broadcast. So before the game started, everyone's like, "Oh, who would you want to see in the starting lineup already?" I'm like, you guys underestimate the god that is Wout Weghorst. You underestimate him. And the whole time when he scored the brace, I was freaking out in studio for the World Cup coverage. Freaking out. I think Steven, you were here for that, right?
I was here for it.
Oh my God, Steven, tell us about that day. How were you thinking? What were your reactions to me?
No, I mean, Weghorst, he's on the bench, and, he was like, yo, put that man on. He was like, Ardi just wanted him to be on. He's like, yo, he's the GO. He's a 6'7" GO. He's going to put it you guys put it in the box. He's going to hit that ball in. That's exactly what he did,
Yeah.
He did his job. He scored 2 goals, and he got them to extra time, but, I mean,
He scored his penalty.
he scored his penalty too.
scored his
So
penalty.
he did his job.
Yeah, it's all hit or miss with penalties though. You can't
Yeah,
really
but
say.
back to the training ground to practice penalties. You know.
I wish he was still in the Prem. I wish he was still in the.
Whitehorse? The
Yeah.
problem is he went to Burnley.
He went to Burnley. They got relegated.
If I were Newcastle, I would have allowed Burnley to keep Chris Wood, and I would have bought Whitehorse.
Yeah, but look at the long ball craziness, mayhem that we saw at the end of the Argentina-Netherlands game is exactly what like Burnley's about and stuff in the
that's
championship.
true. That's true.
So for Weghorst, just playing for a team that's gonna play out of the back and move the ball.
He's at Besiktas now.
Yeah, like, but Weghorst, like, I would love to see him at like a Stoke City, like Peter Crouch style. Stay up top and just start driving the ball into him up top.
Liverpool's new signing, Wout Weghorst.
Yeah, like but let's like how simple of a coaching change was that? You know, Argentina. All right, we're up 2-0. We're gonna start pulling players off, and then they had the shoot moments, and what are we gonna do to defend 3 giants up top? Because they put Van Dijk up top at 1.2. Yeah, Luke De Jong, Weghorst, and Van Dijk up top, and like it was ridiculous. They're all 6'5" plus. It's
And then the Argentina team, the tallest guy's like 6'1".
yeah, like poor just it was a mess, and I was dying for the Netherlands to make it through because
I know.
I thought they played pretty well.
In the studio, it got so intense here because our station manager, Annabella Poland, she's Argentinian, and she said, I
Yikes.
cannot be in this room when they're playing because I will not be FCC compliant. So every single time they scored, she kept knocking on the wall, like, oh, we scored. And so I was like, guys, she started something, and we're going to finish it. Next time Netherlands scores, we're going to bang on that wall like no tomorrow. She texted me after. She's like, all the stuff almost fell off my wall when you guys did that. Oh, my God. But no, I mean, the World Cup coverage here has been fun. We do have an event coming on Sunday, December 18th. The World Cup final starts at 10 a.m. WMSC coverage will start at 9:30, but we'll be having a live stream and a watch-along we will be hosting at Presentation Hall at the SCM building, the School of Communications. Besmir, can I see you there?
Well, depends on whether or not my dad has plans for us because so
Yeah, but like you know how Nishinumi is. You go, oh Basho, come on Basho, we gotta go help Ardi. Come on.
yeah, no, fair enough. I'm lucky enough to have a very flexible schedule. So most days I try to catch one of the matches. Like when there was double matches, I'd catch one at home, and I managed to catch that Netherlands match at home with my dad. And like he'll sit there and he's into every single beginning of the game. He'll pick which team he wants to win. Like yesterday, we obviously very pro Croatia.
Well, the Balkans, of
Right?
course. Yeah.
So like we're sitting there and during the Netherlands game, and they score that first goal, and we go crazy like, oh, there's still time. They get that free kick, and I turn to my dad. I go, oh, they have to score here. This is the exact moment a team grabs a goal, and then they pull off that ridiculous set piece, which like my dad sat there. We celebrated the goal like we're jumping like we're not Dutch.
No, dude, like that was how it happened in the studio. I was freaking out. It was insane.
Like
the funny thing is that
It was crazy.
of Weghorst doing the exact same thing at Wolfsburg like a season or two ago.
Yeah, listen, but like how brilliant is that? I don't remember the last time I saw a set piece pulled off like that. It was absolutely brilliant.
Such a good set piece.
And let's be real, I'm not the biggest supporter of Emi Martinez. I think he's a great goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But he's arrogant as heck, and I'm not a fan of
I
those.
can tell Steven doesn't like him. The resident Colombian in the room.
After those celebrations, after the shootout, like it was such a low class response to winning that shootout. You know, I lost a lot of respect for the Argentinian national team. You know, listen, they still have one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest. So you can't hate Argentina. But I'm not gonna lie, it'd be nice to see them lose in the final.
Yeah.
All I wanted to know is who got that yellow card, because before extra time, there was like a big bust up on the
so
field.
Denzel Dumfries at the end of the game got 2 yellows.
Yeah, because like they just cut right.
Oh,
to
what a
commercial
shame.
break.
He's out of the next UEFA Nations League match.
Yeah. I mean, talk about what a shame. Let's talk about the England-France game, right, guys? I think that game, Hugo Lloris had the game of his career. You can't tell me otherwise. You really can't. And the reason why I say that, just off the Bellingham save alone. Bellingham on the half volley, it's like curling to the top right corner and just fingertips it over the bar.
I mean, what are your thoughts? You are wearing a France sweatshirt here.
I mean, it's Henry in the back, so it's allowed for him because he's Arsenal fan.
Yeah, and listen, Thierry Henry class. But anyway, go ahead.
Dimitrios, you
I
can,
already knew England was going to lose the second they were going in.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like Southgate at all. I was at work and I was watching it, and when like that first goal went in, I was like, yeah, England's done. And it's kind of they took off Bukayo Saka, like who was just taking this doing so much mayhem, and then they put on Sterling, and Sterling did nothing at all. And I was like,
I think my qualm with it was that like, if Kane is looking so stagnant up top, why not give someone like Callum Wilson a chance, who could have put France on the back foot more, of like staying on the shoulder of the last defender? Because don't get me wrong, Kane scored the penalty, right? He missed the second one, we scored the first one. So like, technically, we don't know what would happen if Kane wasn't in the game for that. But at the same time, with someone like who's like France, I think Besmir can sort of attest to this. When they want to play such a high line and press you forward, and not allow you to have control of the game or the tempo, you really need players who are going to play on the shoulder of the last defender and really try to cause problems. I feel like Kane didn't do enough of that.
Like, I mean, I think I'm just gonna say what Ardi wants to say. Why didn't Rashford start?
You said it, Steven, not me. You said it.
I never understood it. Why did Rashford didn't
You
start?
said it, not me.
I mean, like, bro, 3 goals in the World Cup. I mean, he's on fire. I mean, you have to start that man. Like, I don't know. He owns Mbappe, in my opinion. I don't know. Like, that man owns Mbappe. Like, he's so good. I mean, he's that attacking player you need up top, especially against a game against France. I mean, I don't know, man.
Besmir, my question for you: what do you think of the negative comments towards a Mason Mount and a Sterling going onto the pitch over maybe the likes of a James Maddison who hadn't seen any minutes in the tournament, or a Marcus Rashford?
Mason Mount won the second penalty.
Yeah,
now
that's what fair and square.
That second penalty, real quick, I think that miss isn't on Harry Kane. I think it's on the manager. I think it's on Gareth Southgate. 10 years teammates with Hugo Lloris, scores the first one. I will argue to the end of time that goalkeepers, especially at that level, have the advantage in that scenario during a penalty. Especially in that moment, Lloris had the upper hand.
Yeah.
All the pressure was on Harry Kane. So take it off him. Take the pressure off of Olivier Giroud. I love Giroud so much.
We all love Giroud.
Take the pressure off of Harry Kane and give the penalty to someone else. It's not like they were short on penalty takers.
So you had Sterling, you had Mount, you even had...
Henderson was still on the pitch.
I'm going to say this right now.
If you say slaphead, I'm going to throw this water bottle at you.
He's a baller of a penalty taker. He's a baller. I hate him. I think we've established on the show, I despise the man. But if you need someone to guarantee you a penalty, Slabhead's the one who can bang it top right with all that power.
I just think they put him under the necessary pressure. But going back to like Sterling and stuff, listen, I think he shouldn't have pulled off Saka. I thought he played really well, and I'm not the biggest Saka fan.
Do you think he did it because he was worried about the amount of abuse he was taking all game with the fouls and all that?
Yeah, listen, it may just have been that. Let's be real for a moment. You know, all biases aside, Sterling has been one of the best consistent performers for the national team. Sterling is a very good player.
But do you think that like him mentally coming back from his house getting robbed and doing a whole bunch of family things, do you think that was the right game to throw him back into it?
Well, listen, when you have a player of his level, his ability. It's a knockout game. You don't have a next game to worry about. You have to take that risk now, you know? And once again, I think England had a better run of play. You know, I really thought England was going to pull off the win. They were going to score the penalty, go on to grab the third in extra time.
The Rashford free kick was so close, man.
Anytime he lines up for a free kick against Chelsea, I stop watching.
Because you can't. It's like, oh my God. Like, look, I know I'm a United fan. I know it's United propaganda till the day I die. Roberto Carlos, best left back in the world. Can't tell me. No, I'm just joking. But no, like, I know, like, I don't want to sound biased about Rashford because it's not because he's just a United player.
I'm a huge Rashford supporter, so I'm not even going to argue that.
What he's been able to do this season, coming back into the United team, finding his form in the World Cup, and the amount of threat he brings into that team, I think that's something that you're missing out with having someone who's as stagnant as a Harry Kane, to be honest.
Yeah, well, listen, I think Harry Kane needs to be up there for England. I just think there's other ways that the English national team can be playing. And listen, I'm not going to argue with Gareth Southgate. I know he has a lot of haters and a lot of people that want to argue with how he does things. But England was a high-scoring team at the World Cup until they were knocked out. I think they actually still might be. You know, it was funny because on social media it was all over the place. Like, people saw England score more goals in one game of the group stage than they typically score in entire tournaments.
Yeah.
You know, and that is...
I mean, Harry Kane, what? He was the Golden Boot winner last time around, no?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, he was. But, like, they've always been really shaky until Gareth Southgate took over, and like they have fulfilled more of the promise with this current generation of players under Gareth Southgate than they did during the golden era.
Well, you know what it is, because I think I know people underestimate this skill, but managing is such a big deal. I think what the environment and the culture you'd be able to bring is very impressive, but then at the same time, not having a Tomori there. No offense to Conor Gallagher, but he hasn't had a good run of it this past few months. Calling up a Calvin Phillips when he's just coming back from injury, hasn't played.
Yeah, a lot of questionable decisions on Southgate's part. But the one thing I love is you don't hear, and I haven't heard anywhere, seen or read anywhere of any kind of controversy within the England camp. They seem more united than they've ever been.
Yeah.
And being a secondary supporter of England after the U.S. national team, Ardi and I are very
after Switzerland because Kucha is
yeah, fair enough. We have our host of England jerseys, and we're England supporters and stuff because of the Chelsea United connection.
I brought my jersey collection here, so every time when the game was happening, I just swapped jerseys. So literally, if you go to the engineering room, I have my whole bin full of jerseys.
Yeah, and 5 minutes left in the match, he's switching into whichever team's winning. But this is the most stable I think we've seen the English national team. And going into the next tournament. At the European Championships, whatever it might be, isn't scary as an England supporter anymore. You're optimistic. You're not pessimistic anymore about the English national team, and I think that alone is the biggest success Gareth Southgate has had as the England manager.
But what do we think of limited minutes towards players like Trent and maybe even Trips, who we think should have gotten more time? Because don't get me wrong, the left flank, obviously Chilwell is usually one competing for it, but he was out. No Reece James, I think was a big miss, but. Again, not to stroke the ego of United players, but Luke Shaw looked, I think, lights out in this tournament, no?
Yeah, no, I think he looked good. If the England had lost to a team that shouldn't have beat them, I would argue a lot more with Southgate's decision-making. Uh-huh. The fact that they just lost out to the champions and the favorites to win the tournament for the back-to-back for the first time in 60 years says enough to the decisions he made and what he did with the national team. They weren't upset by anyone. Their worst result came against a good United States.
Yeah.
So it's not like they lost. It's not like they were Spain or Portugal and they lost to Morocco, who's a surprise. Not that they're a bad team; they're a surprise.
They're a dark horse.
They're a Cinderella story. Yeah. They lost to France. They lost to the current reigning champions of the world.
Also, by the way, we have to give credit to France because they're playing in a World Cup where they have no N'Golo Kante, no Paul Pogba, no Nkunku, no Benzema, or no Mike Maignan.
Yeah, it's crazy.
5 world-class players.
But they do have the most handsome footballer in the world.
You see, I'm not the only one that says this.
Olivier Giroud is...
Bro, they were making fun of me. They're like, "Oh, why are you calling Giroud a model, dude? He looks like a model. What are you talking about?"
Olivier Giroud has become one of my favorite players I've ever watched play.
He's a cool hero.
He is so fun to watch, and he's such a nice guy. You can't hate Olivier. The only way you hate Olivier Giroud is because you're an Arsenal supporter. He goes to Chelsea and he scores goals on you and he wins trophies at Chelsea, or he goes to Milan and Chelsea's in 8th place and he's winning the Scudetto with Milan.
Yeah.
He's a serial winner. Last World Cup, he wasn't good enough because he started every match, but he didn't score goals. So this time he's like, all right, I'm just going to start scoring goals. And people still don't respect him.
They stole his bicycle kick. I'm still offended by that to this day.
Olivier Giroud is absolute top class. And the fact that his wife came out recently and said he's going to pull his Zlatan and play till he's 40 years old. The worst thing is, Giroud's pace is already 32 in FIFA, right? So
what was it to him? It doesn't matter.
At 40 years old, he will have negative pace. You'll hit the sprint button with Giroud and you'll go backwards.
Oh God.
But the French national team is so strong that losing to them for England isn't a horrible result. The Netherlands losing to Argentina isn't, the worst, isn't an upset. It isn't something that looks at and goes, wow, Van Gaal really messed up. The U.S. losing to Netherlands isn't the end of the world either. It's all the same. Netherlands has a culture of football. We are still building that from the grassroots level up to, the top of the pyramid. It's growing, and when England loses to France, you can't be upset about it.
Just a little side note. We have a little Cafaso youngling right here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Talk to us, Steven.
All right. Well, I don't feel well. I'm out of here.
You have two ex-referees and soccer coaches.
Whoa,
right now
not ex-referees. I still referee, just very rarely because
exactly. But like
only when it's enjoyable.
We're the ones who yell at you all game, Steven. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, as long as listen, if you were to call that penalty that Argentina got yesterday, I'd be on the field fighting you.
No, dude. Look.
Let's argue about this now, Ardi, because you took that breath. I know what's coming.
So here's the thing. I know it sucks to call that pen, but it's a penalty, dude.
Him taking the shot, his momentum brings him into the keeper. He's already lost the ball. Defender has the ball, and he ran into the goalkeeper. And listen, Luka Modric never says anything. Luka Modric, which I also need to bring up after this conversation because I think he's one of the best midfielders to ever exist. Luka Modric came out and he's like, I never say anything. He's like, I don't like to talk or whatever. He goes, but the referee was atrocious. He goes, and when Modric comes out and says it, and
damn, he never speaks on anything.
Modric is the epitome of a world-class player, world-class attitude, world-class professional, and it just, listen, do I think Argentina deserved to win the match yesterday? That penalty, I'll argue, wasn't a penalty, but the more important topic here is Modric being world-class. At 37 years old, he was unreal, and he won a bunch of titles at Real. He's been one of the best midfielders in the world for a while. He won the Ballon d'Or and everything. But Toni Kroos, his Real Madrid, he's retired.
Whoever has a phone or computer, look it up.
He's maybe.
Oh, wait, no, we have a saying here now. Steven on the computer.
Everyone wants to talk about the longevity of players and how we see.
He's
32 years old.
He's 32 years old. Modric at 33 was in a World Cup final.
He's been playing since like 17. Tony Cruz.
He was at Bayern, right?
Yeah.
But he's also a different. He's a bulkier, heftier player. A little. He's And listen, he did win the World Cup 8 years ago. So you can't take that away from him.
We're talking about it, dude. It's like imagine if Germany kept up that run of good form, because think about this. Thomas Muller.
They've been miserable since.
Dude, Thomas Muller at 24 was bossing up the World Cup. If he had kept it up for another tournament, he could have broke records.
Record that Mbappe will hold by the time Mbappe retires. No one will ever be able to catch his records. I think this is the topic
we have to pivot to. Because for example, in Mbappe, my God, give him some more group stages against some scrub teams. He's gonna break records for the World Cup.
He's already third. He's already third leading goal scorer among active footballers. Right? Messi's first, Muller second, Mbappe third. I believe was what the graphic showed on TV yesterday. Yeah. Mbappe's on 9 goals. He's already a World Cup champion. He's possibly going to win it a second time. Arguably the favorites to win it again.
What about the Champions League?
I just don't like him. He plays for PSG. He sat there. They included the Eiffel Tower in his last contract. They gave him everything he wanted. He owns Paris. He's the new prime minister of France.
He's basically a sporting director. He's basically a sporting director.
He does what I do on the Sunday League team. He runs the show and then plays and does whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right.
No, it's horrendous.
What do you mean it's horrendous? For you love it. What are you talking about?
Oh, I do, but it's still horrendous. It's still horrendous. No player is bigger than the club. Any club. I don't care if you're Weghorst at Burnley.
Or Ronaldo at United.
Exactly. I don't think anyone is bigger than the club. And when things aren't meshing, you let go. United terminated the contract of arguably the greatest player in history.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're not going to have that argument. Arguably the greatest player in history. Mbappe he's not the general of the French army, for God's sake. He doesn't run. He doesn't run
Yeah, but when the prime minister's
that.
calling you up to like stay,
Like, but
they give him the key to he's like the Prince of France right now.
it's just very short-sighted from him. You know, you want to build a legacy, you dominate all of Europe. You have to dominate.
He's constantly gonna get bought out by somebody because the money's insane right now. He's gonna go to a Real. He's gonna go to a Prem team. I can guarantee it right now. Within the next year or so.
If he doesn't, well, it also depends on the money aspect. And realistically speaking, as good as he is, Real Madrid has shown. Listen, they can pull up young. Real Madrid's building one of the best sides in the world right now. They're pulling all the best young talent and everything.
Oh, dude, we didn't even talk about Camavinga. What he did against England, my God.
Unreal.
19, 21 years old.
Unreal. I actually had that conversation with our old resident Colombian, Jonathan, last night.
How do you feel that you're a resident Colombian now? What is that?
I mean, I love representing my country. You know what I mean?
But you know what it is? The funny thing is,
You know,
I think,
Viva James Rodriguez. It's all.
I think all Colombians are Real Madrid fans because he's a Real Madrid fan as well.
Yeah, because James played there. James scored one really nice goal in a World Cup, and suddenly he was the next big thing. And they pushed Radamel Falcao off to the side like he was nothing. It's totally disrespectful.
That, career. That one sick goal turned into a career. So
yeah, and then he got fat and was walking around the pitch for Everton under Ancelotti.
Hey, but he still bossed it up for Everton though, dude.
Yeah.
Where's he at now?
He's still in the Middle East? Saudi Arabia. No, Olympiacos.
Olympiacos.
With Marcelo, him and Marcelo at Olympiacos.
Yeah, talk about brilliant end of career. Anyway,
I mean, so if we're gonna talk about teams of upset losses, let's. What do you guys want to talk about first, Brazil or Portugal?
Oh, listen, I don't. I think Portugal losing, and listen, I don't.
Is that for Portugal? Is that a player problem or a manager problem? Because a lot of those subs made no sense to me.
Make no sense, sure. I don't want to step on toes or anything because at the end of the day, the team that was out there should be winning. But at the end of the day, like I don't think it's Portugal being as bad as Morocco was good.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes you lose a match and you just lose there's very little you possibly could have done to have won that match.
I mean, Bunu was on a whole other level that game.
Yeah, like I think the Moroccan national team is so talented. They are the definition of what playing like a unit, like a team means. Like Amrabat, the bald one, because the brothers both play.
Yeah.
I believe for the national team, the captain, he's unreal. He's so good. You know, and they have talent across the pitch.
Hakimi, Ziyech looking
You know,
sensational.
Ziyech and Hakimi playing on the same side.
First off, my
conveniently
question is,
on the side Neymar plays.
What's going on for Chelsea now with Ziyech?
Oh, listen.
What's going to happen after this World Cup?
Well,
did he want to leave? Was he supposed to go to Napoli?
Because the thing is, Tuchel didn't want to play him, but now supposedly like Potter's trying to find a way to fit him into the system.
yeah, I have no idea. Like he's so silky smooth.
He has to start for Chelsea.
I mean, after this World Cup, like you'd imagine, if he doesn't, he can play at any club in the world. You know, so if this World Cup for someone like a Ziyech is the best thing that could have happened because he can walk into into the Chelsea dressing room in a week's time, after the World Cup's all done and dusted, and go, hey, like, am I playing or can I go to one of the other 25 top clubs on the continent and go play?
Real could use him right now.
Like he can play anywhere. There's not a team that I think he can't play for.
Imagine a front three of Ziyech, Benzema, and Vinicius at Real.
Yeah, Vinny's so good too. But like he's one of those players that can play anywhere now, any team. And this World Cup for him was massive. There's a couple players I think at this World Cup that really showed the.
Shout out to Bono. That's all I got to say.
Oh my God, he's so
underrated.
He's in Sevilla right now. I'm guaranteeing you one of the top clubs is going to go for him because they need a goalkeeper.
Well, I think
supposedly Bayern might go for him because Neuer's injured.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Or like I think the Croatian keeper Livakovic. I think him being at Dinamo Zagreb right now. He's 27, 28. He's about to enter his prime or just on the cusp of his prime as a goalkeeper. Like I think he'll be snapped up by a bigger club.
A goalie's prime is like 32.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing I mentioned earlier, right? Look what Modric is doing at 37 years old, and it's not like he's doing it, at one of the far ends of the pitch as a forward or a center back. Modric still covers more ground than almost any player on the pitch when he plays at 37 years old. And they asked him, "Hey, are you gonna retire?" He's like, "I don't know yet. I'm not worried about that right now." He's 37 years old.
And he's outrunning people that are like 22, 23 years
Cruz,
old.
Cruz is 32 years old, a World Cup winner, retired from the national team at 31.
Yeah.
Modric at 33 was playing in a World Cup final, and at 37 was just playing in a World Cup semifinal, and Modric was unreal. You know, he's still one of the best midfielders in the world at 37 years old. Olivier Giroud for France. What Ronaldo and Messi are doing is still at the top of the game in their late 30s, mid to late 30s. It's exciting because that generation of football that we have grown up with is just being, drawn out longer because, modern science and technology and medicine means we get to watch players play till they're 40 years old.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not working to their advantage. Because I don't know if you guys saw the statements that came out with Ten Hag about Ronaldo. She just said Ronaldo, yes, he might look fit, but he just wasn't fit enough for the team.
Yeah, well,
arguing why he wasn't playing, but it's he wasn't as invested as he was prior.
I'm also just gonna say I think Ten Hag didn't want Ronaldo, but had to keep him around, so is saying a lot of stuff just to make himself look like the good guy in the fight. I'm a huge Ronaldo guy. No one's bigger than the club, but let's be real. Ronaldo still plays for any club in the world.
Yeah, of course.
I would give my left arm if I could have Ronaldo at Chelsea. It just
never happened though.
Listen, crazier things have happened, man.
Todd Bowie can sell ice to an Eskimo.
I'm telling you right now, I could see a January transfer window where somehow Ronaldo ends up at PSG.
Telling you right now, I just saw on my phone, Ronaldo's at Real Madrid, training. I don't know if that means anything or not, but I just
Steven, how would you feel
now.
if Ronaldo went back to after all the progress you've made with the team? How would you feel if Ronaldo went back to Real?
He just signed his wonder kid named Endrick, so he's definitely gonna be the new generation of our striker up top there, the number 9 for the next 2024 he comes in. But I don't know, man. Benzema looks a little bit shaky.
Well, he's hurt now. He'll be out for a while, right?
He's gonna be out for a while, yeah. So we don't really have anyone else to fill in that striker. You could say Rodrigo. But, you could give him, the 6 months.
Asensio.
And I wouldn't mind to see it. I wouldn't mind just to bring back the memories. But, we are competing for a league title. And, it's kind of 50-50, It's just I don't know. Because you can't really, put that much gamble on the league title.
Chelsea's trying to get rid of a striker right now. His name's Aubameyang, if you want to take him off their hands.
Yeah. No comment.
Don't get me wrong. Aubameyang is world class. It's just when Tuchel left, Potter was just all right.
Made no sense in the world.
Yeah,
So Besmir, have you talked about this Chelsea thing since? Because I don't think you've been on air ever since it happened.
I have not. It was heartbreaking. I am a huge supporter and fan of Thomas Tuchel. I think he is. Listen, he led a Chelsea team to a Champions League, conceding 4 goals, playing all youngsters. But he's the one that pulled it off because he's a master tactician, and he's a likable guy, and there's nothing better than when a manager loves a club so much. He got fired, and was still only saying how much he loved Chelsea. He's a manager I think we'll see again in the Chelsea shirt. Mourinho-esque or an Ancelotti at Real. It was horrible, but
the timing made no sense though. It's you guys get
zero
all the signings
sense
that Tuchel wants, and then you get rid of him 2 weeks later, and you expect Graham Potter to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Under new ownership, under Roman Abramovich, that would have never happened.
Yeah.
He would have waited a couple losses and be like, all right, now you got to go. But Graham Potter is. I respect him.
I'm a huge fan of him.
I hugely respect Graham Potter. I think the World Cup being in the winter, giving him all this time to really get things set at Chelsea, is wonderful. Some people are already writing off this year, right? Saying, "Hey, let's let Graham Potter transition in and stuff."
Crazier things have happened in the Prem, though.
But listen, Chelsea has one of the deepest squads in Europe. A lot of talent. Champions League winners, most of the team, a lot of experience in a Thiago Silva and everyone, and bringing in a Koulibaly and all these guys. So I think it's going to be a better season on the other side of the New Year's celebrations. It was shocking. I still don't really feel like Graham Potter's the Chelsea manager. It's weird.
Yeah. especially with a lot of tinkering he has to do and stuff like that. Like basically being like a mad scientist. I mean, what? So right now you still have Chilwell and Reece James out, right? And also Conte's out for a while.
Yeah, Conte I think will be back once we're back from the New Year's.
No, but I thought he was 4 years out, like 4 months out. So like.
I don't know. Well, like
November.
regardless, that's the thing. Being a Chelsea supporter, I love the idea that we have so many players, so many positions. Like the center of the park for us still leaves us with Jorginho, Kovacic, Conor Gallagher. You know, like there's still depth.
The only certainty there is Kovacic right now, because Conor Gallagher has looked off ever since he came back to Chelsea. Jorginho.
No, he's had a couple good games. And listen, but that's the thing. Jorginho didn't go to the World Cup, so he's been training and preparing.
Valid,
for the return. Kovacic looked Kovacic is such a good player. Like there was times where he was beating 3-4 guys, slipping challenges, and
of Brozovic, Kovacic, and Modric was so much fun to watch, man. That's like true football at its finest, watching those three together.
So much class in that midfield. Like I love Kovacic because there are very few proper dribblers as center mids. You know, no one really there aren't many true ball progressing midfielders anymore. You know, and like Kovacic will grab the ball, and it's like you're watching a winger trying to dribble through the middle of the field. And yesterday there was a couple times where they just couldn't stop him. Mm-hmm. You know, if Croatia had a real number 9, things would be a lot different.
That's the point I've been making the whole World Cup. People were getting confused by it because it's like, oh, they have Pekovic and Kramaric. Like, what are you worried about? I'm like, I don't think nobody understands how much of a big loss it is not having Mario Mandzukic at a World Cup.
Oh, listen, if they had a listen, take Olivier Giroud from France, put him on Croatia. Croatia wins the World Cup.
Yeah, but I think take a lot of forwards and put if you put like a Harry Kane at Croatia, or if you
give them
take a Richarlison from Brazil, or
dude, he's so good,
or give them a Gonçalo Ramos from Portugal. Like give them a real number 9 to work with, and they win it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, listen, look at that midfield. That midfield was unreal.
Even the back line, Gavardiol looked really good.
Dude,
I think he might be at Chelsea.
Good.
I think he might.
I hope not. That's the last thing Chelsea needs to do.
Man City. I think it's one of the two.
No, listen, I hope he comes to Chelsea. I mean, we still have Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana. I know Silva's old.
You want Maguire?
What?
You want Maguire?
Listen, I thought Maguire looked great for England, man.
Don't say that, because guess what?
He
He's
only
gonna be
plays
like,
good in an English shirt.
Slabhead is back. Oh, he's gonna play great, and he's gonna play like garbage against United. No, I'm not allowing this. I'm not allowing false hope to take over my life. Not happening.
Listen, but it shows, get him away from toxic Man United supporters, and he will be success. Listen.
Imagine he does go to Chelsea, and he's just...
Here's my hot take. I would take Harry Maguire at Chelsea.
I won't.
Playing in the back 3 with Fofana and Koulibaly next year, he will be successful.
Your whole back line's injured right now, so of course you do.
Listen, I would take him in a heartbeat. I mean, listen, and... Oh, I think we even mentioned earlier, like, all these... players at the top level playing. Thiago Silva's 38 years old. Didn't look out of place at all for Brazil.
What was it? Him and even Pepe, 39 for Portugal.
He looked so good, man. First of all, Pepe in FIFA 22 has like 85 pace or something like that. How ridiculous.
Yeah, 80 pace if he was 22, yeah.
Like, how ridiculous. But listen, like Pepe didn't look out of place.
No, not at all.
Oh, and dude, if he had scored that header, we lost our mind. I watched that game with my dad, too. I love watching games with my dad because
Your father is so interesting to watch games with.
He's like... It's great because the second the game gets intense, he'll go from the couch to the ottoman that's closer to the TV, and he's maybe four inches away from the screen, and he already has horrible eyesight, so it's only getting worse. Like he'll sit there and all the emotional reactions and everything. I'm like, we're not Dutch, we're not Portuguese. Like, no, you don't understand. Like, all right, cool, like that's fine.
Baggio, you don't understand Baggio.
Like so excited, and like my mom will sit there, or my grandma who's currently visiting us from Europe.
Yeah,
like she'll sit there and she'll be like, she's like, what happened? We're like, don't worry about it. Stop asking us questions. Leave us alone.
Oh, so you know something funny, Besmir? So when it was Switzerland versus Serbia, guess what I had in the studio?
Who? Dejan? Oh Lord,
dude. I did not thoroughly enjoy something more than I did that day.
That's why I haven't seen Dejan in like 3 weeks, man. He's disappeared.
He's so depressed.
He's disappeared. And the worst thing is to lose to Switzerland and then they get their butts kicked was the greatest thing in the world because you lost to a team that got embarrassed in the next round.
Oh my God.
Poor Dejan. Yeah, rumor has it he's still hiding somewhere.
He's in his room buying FIFA points playing.
He's in his room under his bed, draped in his Serbia flag, crying still. But But
it was
listen,
also great with Shaqiri scoring the goal against Serbia. Oh.
how great, how wonderful.
Bro, they don't understand, bro. I spread the Kucha Z propaganda here all the time.
Yeah, listen. I mean, for Dejan, I feel bad because, like, Serbia just fills their supporters with false hope. I mean,
their team looked good though. It's just like down at the point of like, why is Vlahovic finally now starting? Why is Jovic not getting minutes?
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's no creativity in that team.
Well, I think that's just the midfield.
You know,
It's very
like
flat.
take one of those Serbian forwards, put them on the Croatian national team.
Oh my god!
Like they have Jovic, they have Vlahovic, they have Mitrovic. Just give one of them to Croatia.
Milica Savic.
Oh my, like
Savage is in the fielder. Yeah.
you know, but like put Mitrovic or Vlahovic on the Croatian national team.
They score goals. Guaranteed.
They score goals. They win games.
But like Serbia on paper is like really good. I don't understand like why.
I mean, no, their defense is shaky in my opinion.
But there's just no creativity.
Yeah.
Where's the creativity coming from? There's a lot of hard hitting,
that's the
physical
problem with a lot
players
of these teams right now. So like for example, like Brazil, I think had too much going on forward wise, and like they really couldn't connect their midfield well together with the defense because the fullbacks were a problem. You know. That was a real big issue. Is that their fullbacks like weren't really there. I think I was trying to be nice about opening his excess. By the way, the amount of times of comment like so for those of you who are listening on air, you know I bought like 8 cases worth for everyone here at the station for World Cup coverage. And what would you guess what the first comment was about the excess?
I don't know what.
So we had a resident MSU Athletics soccer star, Emmy Dinavelis, the starting right back for the women's team. She tried it. And she said, and I quote, "Why does it taste like burnt tires?"
Wait, was it the strawberry?
Yeah, it's a strawberry.
That's the burn, man. Like, dude.
No, because it is. She had
I've
a
never
room
even
temp. I'm
heard
like,
of that
Emmy, I have
energy
it.
No, you have to have it cold.
Cold?
Summit
You have
is
to have
good at any temperature,
Yeah.
but the strawberry you have to have it cold. That's why I leave it in my trunk.
Well, what I started doing that, I started taking them out of the cases and putting them in the mini.
I wanna
fridge
try
in the
one.
office. Well, they're all gone now. So.
Oh,
We
Oh,
went through
but
8
they're-
cases.
Oh, they're
96 cans.
I've
gone
never even
within
heard
less
of
than
that
3
brand
weeks.
before.
Well, the XS is the official sponsor of the.
So
all
everything
the
tastes
health-
like burnt tires?
No,
No.
we're really putting down excess here. No.
Listen, it's a healthier. Because let's be real,
Alternative,
no
yeah,
energy
yeah.
drinks are healthy. And then all the proteins and everything are all natural. They're
no
all more
fillers,
natural, better
and
for you,
stuff, yeah.
healthier versions of protein
By the way,
powders and
not
everything.
a sponsorship here. We're just giving a little review about something. No,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
not
no,
sponsored by
no,
XS.
it's just-
we are a non-commercial radio station.
Yeah, no, it is. It's my preferred drink. I mean, I like the Summit because it tastes like
Sprite.
Mountain Dewy. It's good. And he just delivers that to me. So
He pulls up at the shop. It's like, oh, Bez, we'll play FIFA, and here's your can. It's like, oh, okay.
yeah, here's your case. And then 2 minutes later, Jonathan has requested X amount of dollars for excess on Venmo. I'm like, all right, John. But
But let's transition to a different topic here because today's game is Morocco versus France.
oh man,
Yeah.
I mean,
Deep down, I want like Morocco to win, just because I want to like see like a team that's not.
I'm
really
tired of
there.
saying who I want to win because I'm just a J. Stay here and vibe. That's all I'm gonna do.
Who do you want deep down to win?
I'm not
Switzerland.
saying it. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I want Switzerland to win the whole thing and Kucha Z. Plain and simple. My sheep has lift the trophy.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. France is France, man. The only thing is, when are people going to give Morocco the respect they deserve? They aren't just they're not. If they beat France, it's not a surprise. If right, they beat Belgium. Like, this is craziness.
I mean,
They've knocked out 3 world powers.
West Ham must be excited with having Aguero, their starting center back, be killing it at the World Cup.
Oh. and he was Morocco, I was Argentina. And like I saw a Aguero because I didn't have my glasses on. So I'm like, what's going on around here? But no, Morocco's quality. I mean, Mazraoui is good,
When
and
you have
like
Mazraoui, Hakimi, and Aguero in the back line, and Bunu in goal. That's all you need. That's all you need defensively.
yeah, I mean, and then you have like Amrabat and all these guys. They're just
Oh, what was his name? Because like you struggle with Mbappe sometimes. I get a little scared for you, bud. That's the only thing.
oh, it's yeah. There's just some people that
Yeah, Unahai.
Yeah, I mean,
Beso O-U-N.
I'm looking it up too because I don't trust him either, and I just met him.
Oh, that's the guy from Angers.
Yeah, he plays for Angers. That's what I'm saying. Cause I don't know if it's meant to have like a French type of last name, because like a lot of like Moroccans, Algerians, or or people from Ivory Coast, they'll play for France and stuff. So I don't know exactly how the last name is pronounced. But hey, Steven, what is it?
it's top of the hour on WMSC Upper Montclair.
And this is match week.
Este es match week.
No, let's have a resident Hispanic man say it. I mean, you go.
Este es match week.
No, but you have to do the finger because that Jonathan,
Finger.
he
wasn't here.
this way he'd say all smiles and stuff.
We
You
should
go,
put him and Jonathan in the same room and see what happens.
no, I'm not gonna say anything mean. No, but you have to do the finger because he's este es match week.
And then every time Maz would try to say it on there, I was like, no, Papa.
No.
No.
Yeah, because we used to do it, pretty. I mean, there was a couple weeks in a row where it was me, Dayan, and Jonathan,
weeks,
right?
It was like 9 weeks straight.
Yeah, it was like, so it'd be me here, then it'd be Jonathan and Dayan, and like I would talk a lot, Ardi would talk a lot,
Really, you talk a lot?
and then Dayan would say something once in a while, and then Jonathan would sit there not say anything and go, "You guys don't let me talk."
Really, what do you? Matt times he'd be like, "Oh, Jonathan, what do you want to say?" He's like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, and then you go back, and then you go back on his lap, like, John, what do you? Like, yeah, you guys don't let me talk, Jonathan. You don't say anything, and when you do, so Jonathan with Colombia is like down with Serbia. Who's the best center back in the world? What do you mean? It's Yeremina.
At a time.
It's what is it? Davidson? Is that his first name? Davidson Sanchez.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. But
This France-Morocco game, right?
yeah,
What do we see happening?
exciting.
What's
Morocco
the result?
going through.
I mean, I don't know. Like, that little girl got me really annoyed. I don't know if you've seen her. She's like, poor Ronaldo. You guys,
What little girl?
little girl that was like mocking. No, you didn't watch that video? No.
No.
Oh my.
By the way,
God.
Steven is referring to a random social media video, not just
No,
a
it's
random
like-
little girl. Just to clarify for the audience out there.
It's literally all over. Like, but okay, anyways. But yeah, I mean, it was a little. It was basically a little girl mocking Ronaldo on TikTok, and it was just like, oh, poor Ronaldo. The airport's that way. It's a bunch of Morocco fans just mocking Ronaldo. The airport's that way. Oh, he's on the bus back home and everything. So they're all just mocking him, and there's a little girl saying, oh, poor Ronaldo. But the whole internet's after. But anyways, I mean, my view in this game is like, Morocco's a really good team defensively. I think they have the best defense in the World Cup probably, and they could definitely make it like past France and into the final. And I think I'll explain it later.
What is this?
I'll explain it later.
Steven, what is
Okay.
this slander?
Okay.
Look at this. Look at his background.
Okay, look. I'll understand his wallpaper right now. So look, I'm a Ronaldo fanboy, but look. So for the South Korea versus Brazil game,
It's a Judas.
I had
right
South Korea. It was like a wallpaper, and it said anything is possible, something like that. For the Brazil versus Croatia game, I had a picture of Vinny and Neymar, and they lost. South Korea lost.
Okay.
So I thought having this messy wallpaper, there's a curse behind it. If I had it against Netherlands, they would lose. And well,
When did your family disown you?
it never worked. And I thought it would work again, but no, it didn't work. So I'm gonna change it.
Oh, you could have changed it, but you didn't.
Yeah, I mean against Croatia as well, but
Steven, that's almost as bad as someone coming on the show and calling it match day. Like that's sacrilegious right there.
look, man, I thought it would work, but it didn't work. So past that.
Like,
anyways.
imagine calling this like game week or something like that.
Oh, did I tell you? Did I tell you?
I triggered him.
Wait,
He's
did I
all
tell you?
what?
Someone on Spotify is trying to copy the Match Week name. They're calling it Match Weekly.
Huh.
Oh no.
Match Weekly.
Well, I'll make sure to post some reviews on Google about
Be
them.
like, you don't have a biased Chelsea supporter on your show, so what do you think you?
Este Match Weekly doesn't sound good, does it?
No, it doesn't.
But Lord, no comment.
Oh well, also for the World Cup coverage, we've been going Este es Copa Mundial.
Oh.
Keep the theme going.
Oh, look at that's Jonathan would be very proud.
He would be.
Even though like he's like, wow, I wasn't invited. I'm like, John, can you come tomorrow morning? I'm sure Artie wouldn't say no. Oh no, I'm busy. I'm like, for God's sake, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like I keep telling John, like, oh yeah, come back on the show. He's like, no, I'm busy. I'm like, what do you mean you're busy, bro? Because he even said like he wanted to come for some of the World Cup games. I'm like, oh John, like tell me what time you're free and I'll schedule on for it.
Yeah, he'd have to wake up early to come to some of those games, and
I told him the 10 a.m. slots, bro. It's not even like it was like
exactly my point.
We were getting up at 3:30 in the morning for the 5 a.m. games to cover them here.
Jonathan doesn't even catch a 2 p.m. game sometimes.
That is Jonathan Chavarria for you, ladies.
Oh no, like John, yeah, I'm in a meeting, dude. How do you just schedule matches during the World? I canceled friendly games like 2 weeks ago. Well, we didn't cancel. We rescheduled them to later and stuff.
If you're listening, Besmir rescheduled them. He didn't cancel.
Yeah, rescheduled. But like, the coach was like, "Hey, you guys want to play a friendly at 2:00 during the quarterfinal?" I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Doing?
I go, the next 3 years, 4 years, the next any year, yeah. I go, but not this winter.
No.
And I'm like, I won't be able to get a team. For those you guys don't know, North Jersey FC, half of our club is like Colombian and South American.
Yeah.
Like, no, every Colombian soccer player from the Morristown, Madison area plays for us. So, like, you know, Colombian culture is all football. Yeah. You know, but like, coach, we can't come to practice if it's during a game time or like a friendly. Like, I can force them to be there, but they wouldn't be happy to be there. Let's be real. I wouldn't be happy being there. Like, if somebody told me today at 2:00, I need you to do something, I'd say, yeah, but I'm not feeling well.
We had one of the professors here, Jaime Grimberg. Shout out to him. He even says during I'll be lecturing, but the game will be on at the same time.
Yeah, like, it just, you can't expect people to be productive during the World Cup. Mm-hmm. It's almost like there's a reason people want like the day after the Super Bowl to be like a national holiday, because most people are still recovering from the Super Bowl. So it's very you know, it's very the big game. That's why Big Game Sunday is like the day after is expected to be
not the world's big game, the mediocre big game.
Yeah. The no comment anyway, but yeah, I had to reschedule. I mean, but for this Morocco game, I mean, defense wins you championships, right? Yeah. And they've conceded 1 goal the entire tournament.
This is insane.
You know, but that's the thing. It's listen, Portugal, Belgium, Spain, quality sides.
Do we think we're gonna see something different from France because of this game? Like, are they gonna change up their playing style?
I mean,
I think France might do a back 3.
You think they're gonna be more aggressive?
Yeah.
Then I feel like that's trying. You're sort of feeding into Morocco's playing style in that case. Then trying to be more aggressive.
This France have the quality through the middle to grab goals. Like, Tchouameni, these guys are good.
I don't know, but all I'm saying is, like, Rabiot, someone who I thought would be garbage this World Cup, has looked lights out. Like, better than I've seen him play his whole career.
Yeah.
He's trying to leave Juventus, that's why. He's trying to get himself out of
it. He's like, yo, coach, been making me play left mid for some reason. Look at me in the center mid.
Yeah, he's going to try to better his career and end up at United playing next to Fred.
Please, no. I don't want.
I mean, it was close.
Yeah, it was real
but
close.
like, I'm not going over this again. We're not going over this topic. I have 3 different episodes dedicated to this. We're not talking about it.
Yeah, I think it would be very interesting to see what happens with like a Rabiot, but I'm just not sure. I mean, I think so high. Like, Griezmann's had a great tournament.
Oh, he's been the creative masterpiece in the middle there for them.
You know, they've looked good across the board. You know, if I'm France, really I'm excited for today and for Sunday. If we get there.
Dembele has been looking. He's been looking the best he has his whole career.
Yeah, I mean, as much as everyone wants Morocco to win, because listen, unless you're French, you want Morocco to win. Mm-hmm. It's just, you know, if you look at those meme maps everyone puts out, you know, it's the French flag, then it's surrounded by Moroccan flags everywhere. You know, they're the first African country to make it to a World Cup semifinal. It's first majority Muslim team to get there. It's they're breaking glass ceilings. It's hard, even though they're playing as well as they are. It's hard to still say, hey, like they're going to win today. You're talking about the reigning world champions. You're talking about Mbappe, who's going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He's going to break every record there is to break, at the World Cup and everything. He's Olivier Giroud up top. Listen, like El Nassiri is great for Morocco. Mbappe, Giroud, Dembele is...
Griezmann behind them with either Tushmani or Camavinga starting with Rabiot. It's
but you know what I mean? They just knocked out big sides too.
It's right backs because you have Koundé or people playing out of position and you don't have a true right back.
Listen,
Pavard, I think it's only Pavard.
Yeah, but Pavard's he's more of a center back though too.
So, but if Koundé, and Koundé hasn't looked that out of place though, has he?
No,
I'm trying to think of a single time this tournament where France has looked bad. I mean, there's times England.
That one game where everyone was kind of playing.
Tunisia, but it was a whole. He's right, the whole B team.
Yeah, exactly. I think a full strength France, as tough as it is for everyone to swallow, is probably going to win tonight.
Yeah.
Once again, if France wins, it's one of those. Hey, they deserve to win. If Morocco wins, everyone will be really happy because they're such a big underdog. And even if Morocco wins, have to respect everything they've done. They'll go into a final as the underdog again.
Yeah.
You can knock out a fourth powerhouse and still go in as an underdog. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, well, Argentina hasn't really Argentina really hasn't played a powerhouse. You could argue for Netherlands, but they played all these sides that haven't been completely organized or.
Well, I'd argue Croatia.
Croatia,
I'll argue Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia is the only really have true performance out of them. But what I'm going to argue is that Argentina's been bailed out by two players a lot this tournament. They've been bailed out by Messi, and they've been bailed out by Enzo Fernandez in the midfield, having a little midfield renaissance for them.
Julian Albert.
But the last game, realistically though, because before that, it was a lot of work between those two. Like Enzo Fernandez, the 18, 19-year-old, has had to shore up that midfield and come in and be like, yo, all of you need to follow what I'm doing. And then Messi's had to find those small pockets of space that no one else will be able to find to get the passes off and look for those assists.
Yeah, Enzo was like that link between the defense to midfield to the front. He was like that lone six that was just... Because
everyone thought Rodrigo was going to do that. Everyone thought it was going to be McAllister, Palacios.
First of all, that story behind McAllister playing for Argentina with the name McAllister.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It makes no sense.
And I don't know if you've seen the picture of his dad, because his dad played for River or for Boca.
He played with Maradona. He's like his boy.
But
Dad's a ginger.
Like ginger, Irish, I believe, Irish looking guy who McAllister playing for Argentina for Boca and River is crazy stuff.
It makes no sense.
But listen, Morocco, same group as Croatia. Beats Belgium, only concedes 1 goal to Canada, Spain, Portugal. My only thing is, can Morocco sustain? Listen, I don't think Morocco wins this match in normal time. I think they'll have to win it in penalties if they win it. Can they sustain 120 plus minutes with the likes of Mbappe running at them, Dembele?
They're going to have 2 players missing though, because some people received some red cards. Saiss is out, which is a big miss for their defense.
Yeah.
There's also, who's number 18 or 21 for them? He got a red card last game. So
Chadira, but he's a sub.
But still, it's besides the point. You're gonna need your reinforcements ready to go if you're expecting a 120-minute game.
No, Saiss isn't out.
I thought Saiss he came off in a stretcher. I thought he was gonna be injured.
Yeah, he got subbed off. No, but he's not out with cards or anything like that.
No, but he's injured though. Saiss.
Yeah, but still, I look at it and I think, when you're weary legs, long tournament, listen, the adrenaline's going to be pumping. They'll be chock full of excess and whatever and energy drinks. But
they'll be primed up.
When you look and you've just been under a bunch of pressure and you look to hit on the counterattack, and now half your team's committed to the attack, and then France turns around and they're running at you with Dembele on one side and Mbappe on the other, and just trying to catch those guys is a task in its own. Not stopping them, catching them. And then battling with Giroud in the middle of the park. not being able to step too hard because, you're going to have Griezmann making runs through or slotting players in. And, it's tough. It's really tough. And listen, they did against Portugal. Portugal has one of the best squads in the world. This year, phenomenal. They beat Portugal. They beat Spain. They beat all these teams. Morocco has to be near perfect to win a match. France doesn't. France is so good, they don't have to be near perfect because Morocco is going to look to hit on the counter. They'll create a handful of chances. France will create 20 chances. If they're only successful 10% of the time, that's 2 goals for them.
Yeah.
So, France is favorites. I want Morocco to win, but I just don't see it happening.
No, I hear you. It makes sense. And then the final, we can't really predict anything until this result happens. But realistically, if it's Argentina versus France, I don't think Argentina wins it.
I hope they don't. Oh, man, I hope they don't.
I just don't think that they're good enough to beat a France.
Well,
I remember the last World Cup between France and Argentina.
Yeah.
How that turned out.
I know. But
yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's...
Also, I have a qualm with Argentina. How is Paulo Dybala not making a single appearance for you? Well, meanwhile, Lautaro Martinez has been choking nonstop in these games since we had all the minutes.
Oh, because without him, they've managed to get to the World Cup final. So that's like one of those things should have Madison played more for England? Yeah, but they got pretty far. They did well.
But
Argentina's in the final.
Imagine a front three of Di Maria, Messi, and Dybala, dude.
Di Maria played 8 minutes at the end of the last match against Morocco.
Well, because he was coming off an injury, they're trying to make sure.
But even Dybala, without Dybala, without Di Maria, they're playing really well. Listen, Lautaro Martinez sat the bench yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He sat the bench, and so it's hard to argue.
Did you hear how they were saying Lautaro Martinez is the modern Gonzalo Higuain for Argentina?
Yeah, that might be one of the most disrespectful things you can say to an Argentinian.
No, but a lot of the Argentinians are agreeing with him, though.
Listen, he's a good player too.
For Inter.
But I mean, it's hard to argue with anything the Argentina coach has done, besides maybe the ending to the Netherlands match, because that was a joke. But they're in the World Cup final for a second consecutive World Cup.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue. I can't argue.
Well, not consecutive. Well, France you're talking about, or are you talking about Argentina?
Argentina.
No, not consecutive.
Argentina was 2014.
Yeah. So it would be consecutive. Yeah.
It was 2 out of the last
past,
3.
10 years. Yeah.
2 out of the last 3 World Cups. They're in the final. It's hard to argue with them to say, hey, they're at a World Cup final. It's just that simple. No Dybala. That's just how it works. And I don't know. I just hope they don't win it. I think it would be unfair to Ronaldo if Messi wins the World Cup, and that's why Messi's better than Ronaldo.
Yeah,
that's definitely gonna come up, the GOAT debate.
But that people are like, oh, him getting to another World Cup final is the reason.
But here's the one thing I have to say. Let's say if France wins, right? Then Rafael Varane would have had 2 World Cups under his belt and 4 Champions Leagues. I'm not saying he's a United player.
But Ronaldo has 5 Champions League titles, doesn't he?
No, but what I'm saying is because we obviously know best center back debate goes to Maldini, right? I don't think any of us could disagree with Maldini.
Yeah, let's not begin the Varane propaganda here, because
it's not about the Varane propaganda. It's what will history look at Varane as with all those accolades?
And that's actually the worst thing. Is I don't think Varane a decade from now will be remembered,
because the likes of Desai are though, and a club.
Yeah, but what has Varane? Varane broke out at a young age,
even Lilian
and
Varane.
He's been very good for a very long time. But he hasn't been why is Ram's going to be remembered? Not because he's a great defender or captain, because he scored some really important headers.
Yeah, valid.
There was those moments that really are what he's going to be remembered for. Everyone loves Ramos. Yeah, he won a World Cup and everything with Spain, but he scored 120th minute headers consistently for Real Madrid, 90th minute, 120th minute headers. Varane is very good technically. He's a fantastic center back. Top class, world class.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have any of these moments where you watch him play and go, oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just...
Maldini could shut down any player in the world.
I know, but that's the point. Because Maldini is more remembered than Cannavaro or Nesta, right? And it's sort of that question of I'm not saying it because I want to say Rafael Varane's better, but it's with all these this new guard coming in of players that are gonna slowly edge out and retire, it's like, what's the conversation debate's gonna be now? Because it used to be the argument between Baresi and Maldini. It used to be the argument of the likes of Ronald Koeman versus a Maldini from back in the day. So it's like, how is this argument going to evolve over time with the likes of Ronaldo retiring soon, the likes of the Messi going to be retiring?
Well, that's the thing. It's hard.
Because even right now, nobody besides the true the football junkies, right? The soccer junkies we talk about with Coach Lou, who really remembers a Robin or a Ribery anymore?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the stuff.
That's the thing. People won't remember. I don't think people remember Varane. Like, at the end of the day, I think players like Terry, Vidic, these guys will be remembered longer than a Varane will.
Wow, you're saying Vidic more than Rio?
A lot of stuff. Will, or like a Marquinhos will, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Marquinhos can go on to win, 3 Champions Leagues, and I still think like a Thiago Silva will be remembered more than Marquinhos will down the line.
Well, I think Thiago Silva, what's different with him is that when you have someone that trained under Nesta Maldini from such a young age, playing at AC Milan, and then making his career sort of at PSG as a well-known center back, and then going to Chelsea and still do it at an older age, I think that's the appeal with him. Right?
Yeah, because once again, he's doing something remarkable.
Yeah.
What's Varane? Varane's won these things, but I think he's in the same breath as like a Casemiro. I don't think Casemiro's going to be remembered as one of the all-time great defensive midfielders. Like, I don't think people are going to look at it and go, "Oh, wait, let's talk about the greatest center mids of all time," and people are going to mention Casemiro.
But I low-key feel like
a Conte, I think will be remembered more than a Casemiro will.
I feel like Modric might be forgotten, dude.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
He
Modric-
might
no,
be.
Listen, he's a.
I don't want him to be because I'll remember.
Croatia has a weird. Like, Croatia builds these players that have. Like, Modric is just different class, from when he was at Spurs to, being the back. Modric won a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the first player to win a ball? Wasn't he the first player to win the Ballon d'Or in the Messi and Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty
It
rememberable.
was Ronaldinho, Messi, and Ronaldo for a decade plus.
Ronaldinho, Kaká, and
Yeah.
then it went to them.
Then a decade plus of Ronaldo, Messi winning it with Modric in there.
Yeah.
Like, Modric will be remembered. I don't think, I just think there's some players that will be remembered. And so I have a question for you. In their prime, Kroos or Schweinsteiger?
Oh, Schweinsteiger in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Are you kidding me?
So, Tiger, how old are you, Steven?
I'm 18.
Hijo.
He's a 2004.
Mijo.
You want?
My birthday's in 18.
You want to play for?
Oh, happy early birthday.
Our 0405 team. You need players. You want to play? We'll get you carded and everything.
But I just see it as it's tough because they won ever.
Has to be.
It has to be, but at the same time, you look at them and think, okay, wow, they did really well on the Champions League stage, and in the league they were mediocre. How many league titles did they win in that span?
Barcelona. One more.
Yeah,
Barcelona and Atletico won more than them.
Exactly. So yeah, great. You won knockout football. You won the Champions League, but you weren't consistent enough in the league to win the league.
But what do players care more about, winning the league or winning the Champions League? I think Champions League.
Well, yeah, because most players only win it once.
It depends what league you play in my opinion.
Well,
there's some people who would literally die to have a Premier League title under the belt.
But that's the thing, because it's the Champions League used to be you win it once in a while, whatever. The top players are winning it a handful of times because there's such a big disparity between the top sides and the bottom sides in the world.
I mean,
You don't see upsets anymore.
Not to like insult anybody, but like even like Marco Asensio, he's not a top like class player.
Even,
like, I'm saying like in regards to like the likes of
Nacho at Real Madrid.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
Lucas, what's the other guy?
Oh,
Lucas Vasquez.
Yeah,
but like these echelon of players aren't to the level of like what a Hazard used to be at Chelsea or what a Neymar is or what a Gareth Bale was. Like those are the guys you expect to be at top level, winning them numerous times.
But that is the reason this World Cup has been so great, is because the competitiveness is back into the World Cup. It's unpredictable. You don't know who's going to win. Those years where Real Madrid just kept winning the Champions League, it ruined the competitiveness of the Champions League. You know, the whole purpose behind it is you want to see teams come out of nowhere. Like 2012, 10 years ago when Chelsea won the Champions League over Bayern in their own backyard, beating Barcelona man down. Not just I'm a Chelsea fan, but like those kind of moments in sports history are what helps keep competitions alive and exciting, because Chelsea shouldn't have won the Champions League that year, but they did. They were down 4-1 to Napoli, came back, and they went all the way through, beating Barcelona, arguably the greatest club side in history in that Barcelona team, ending that era, beating Bayern in Munich, on penalties with a last-minute header from Drogba. Like, when Real Madrid continues to win and win and win and win the Champions League, it starts to lose that allure, you know?
But, like, I mean, City with the league, I think they're doing the same thing with the Premier League.
Well, exactly. So when someone else wins the league, whether it's a Liverpool, an Arsenal, a United, a Chelsea, it's going to be such a great feeling because City's made it feel so unexciting.
Even when Leicester did it, it was like levels on levels.
And that's even more so because they're even less likely to win the league. So when Chelsea won the league after that the Champions League after that Real Madrid dominance and stuff, as a Chelsea supporter, it was.
Well, no, because it was Real Madrid, Bayern, and then Chelsea, right?
Yeah, and but Real Madrid and Bayern forever they're always favorites to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like that's why when a Chelsea comes in and wins it, or if like a PSG comes in and finally wins one, it's going to be exciting because they don't win it all the time. They're not always favorites.
Who just won this past one? Because Bayern was 2020, right? Real Madrid just won the last one, right? Oh
yeah, Real Madrid won the last one. Yeah, Benzema. That's how they got that.
That's right. Oh my God.
But
so wait, so now there's some players on that Real Madrid team like Modric and such who have 6 Champions Leagues under the belts.
Well, exactly. So like, it's crazy, and it's like looking at City with how many Premier League titles they have and stuff. Like it loses its allure a bit.
I think it's having so much so fast.
Yeah.
Because like when
exactly.
when it was La Decima, it was a different story. I was like, oh my God, like they finally got the 10th one. It was crazy. And then it was like 3 more after that.
More. It was Ancelotti won La Decima, didn't he?
Yeah. So no, but I'm saying like 3 more of the back to back.
Yeah.
There was the 4th one there.
Yeah, like it's, man, it's.
That's why Real Madrid's Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Real Madrid is Real Madrid. They're the royalty of football. They are Los Galacticos, whatever you want to call it. Like, but in the league, over the last decade or so, they've been subpar. They're great in the Champions League. They're fantastic in the Champions League. But at the end of the day, they don't win the league as much as they should. It's just that's just how it really works. I think once everything gets more and more competitive, once things get more and more competitive, as they are, like in the World Cup, because the whole world is catching up technically and physically with football, these competitions are starting to get more exciting again. Things are going to get more competitive again.
Like Real Madrid's ending anyway, so it's going to be more interesting.
Yeah, but they have talent coming in.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Everyone does.
It always takes a time for like everyone to like completely.
I
don't feel like
talent that's already
midfield's
established. I mean, Vinicius is established. Rodrigo, you could say somewhat arguably he's established. Tchouaméni is already establishing himself. Valverde established himself. Mittal established. I mean, they have a whole nother new generation of just winners coming on to this team. I mean, you could argue the same, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you could say Arsenal. Arsenal have a team like that, sort of, very young, established team.
I wouldn't say Arsenal's established.
No, they're not
You
established.
wouldn't say that with Mikel Arteta?
No. They're still like I think maybe 2 years, 3 years tops out.
If they win the league, would you consider them established?
No, because
it
would
would acknowledge right now though. So this actually alludes to the next topic I want to talk about. How are clubs looking post World Cup? Because if you're Arsenal right now, you're scared because Gabby Jesus is out for a bit.
There has to be a football culture, a winning culture at clubs. I don't think Arsenal. They're top of the league. They're playing good football. They are.
They lost to a certain somebody. Well, just saying.
But
Man, that game.
That
was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer football. That one. That was ball over everybody.
That game was a Ten Hag masterclass. He literally out tacticked Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, it was. Then he once Arteta put on those subs. I'm like, yeah, we lost. This is done.
But I still don't. People listen. This will be one of those things. You'll go back, Ardi, and pull the recordings. I still don't think Arsenal are favorites to win the league.
Oh, I have a clip of you. Don't worry.
Plenty. You have plenty of them.
I mean, you could say Barcelona's. I mean, like their culture is winning culture.
Go back.
I mean.
Yeah, no,
They've
but
been
like
on a
at Arsenal, like they're not.
Honestly, I'm Arsenal.
But in the
I don't
next
think
2
we're gonna
years,
win.
you don't see Arsenal becoming a powerhouse.
It depends who they sign. I think signings.
I think signings are definitely
Yeah,
important.
because-
I mean,
because
they have the
soon-
money.
Because soon they're gonna have to replace Chaka, and Chaka's had the season of his career.
Yeah,
Thomas Partey's getting up there. He's getting injured.
they're both like the same age, like 29, 30 years old.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and Partey's the one who gets injured most of the time. So it's like, who are you gonna have rotating in for Thomas Partey? And the defense, I think your defense is young. You don't have to be that concerned, especially having like Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, Saliba. That's another player I talk about. William Saliba barely making any appearances for France. Like, how mind-boggling is that?
That's good for us. You don't have to get injured.
That is true. That's valid.
But for me, here's the thing: when you look at it, to build first of all, is Arsenal in the Champions League or anything, a European competition?
We're
They are
Europa.
You're in the Europa League, right? So Europa League is still respectable. Arsenal needs to build. Arsenal's 11 right now.
It's good. We don't have no bench.
They're good. They're young. They're full of energy. But like this World Cup was a blessing in disguise to an extent because it helped. Like this is the crazy time of year for clubs. But now is Arsenal's squad depth going to allow them to compete with Thursday night matches in Moldova, and then come back and play City at home on a Sunday, 2 days later?
I mean, they do have some type of bench. I mean, I don't think they're really. I think they look right now.
So
I think it's like the moment they're in right now.
What?
They're trying to win the league, not trying to win the Europa League.
Yeah,
So,
but
but
you
they're-
still have to
But we
compete.
need to,
Well, no,
we need
they're-
to go into January.
No, here's my
and
question.
Get, like, players.
Their front
That's the
three,
thing.
what is it right now? It's guaranteed Martinelli, Jesus, and then Saka, right?
Yes.
So Martinelli's going to come back fit. Jesus is out. So do you just rely on Nketiah, or do you have to go
So
get somebody?
in their last match,
Looking at João Felix. I
No,
don't
you
know about
know,
that.
you guys who you should get? Abubakar. Plain and simple. I mean, that's serious.
listen, in their last
it's
match,
a cheap signing. He dominated at the World Cup. Why not?
in their last match against Wolves, they win 2-0. Right, last league match.
Yeah, I remember that.
They pull on Cedric Suarez, Fabio Vieira,
Vieira's young.
Nelson, and El Neni. Matt Turner, Marquinhos, Rob Holding, Nketiah, and Tierney on the bench. Look at that.
That bench.
Look
is-
at that
is like-
bench and tell me they can win a league,
Kieran Tierney's the only really solid player on the bench there.
right? And how
the thing.
and how like and he's not starting.
But I mean, look at Leicester. I mean, they had a miracle
Leicester-
happen as well.
Leicester,
I mean,
Steven.
Leicester.
I keep trying to help you. I keep trying to help you.
Okay, so Leicester won, but that was a miracle.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
like
that's
counter.
the-
That
that's
was
the beauty of
counter
football. I mean,
No,
right there.
but it's also the fact that Leicester won it in a year where every single team was playing horrendous. Like, that was a chance for Tottenham to win the league.
A chance for Arsenal.
Arsenal to win the league as well.
I was gonna talk
So-
about that.
Two of those teams could have
But that's the
won
thing.
No, you're not talking
Does-
this year, all teams are playing horrendous as well.
No, all
No.
teams. No, this is the most exciting the Prem has been in a
It's
very
like-
long time.
It's like Man City and
I mean, look
Arsenal
at
are the
Liverpool.
only two.
Look at United. Look at
Okay, yeah,
Chelsea.
but then look at Newcastle.
top-
Look
those are-
at
those are your
Crystal
top three
Palace.
usually.
Oh, forgot. People
Yeah,
don't talk
but
about
like-
Newcastle as much. That's the thing.
Newcastle,
Forgot about
So-
That's what I'm saying. This is the most competitive the Premier League has been in a very long time. this
So-
season.
for the league title, you're telling me.
Just in general.
Just a
So my question is this: would Arsenal prefer to win the league as a miracle season, or finish second, third place, and build a consistent title challenging squad? Right?
I mean, if you,
I mean, I don't think it's
What would you prefer? A lesser type title win, and then you slowly fade into the depths again?
But they're not going to fade into the depths again with the recruiting processes they've been having. They recruiting.
But what's the recruiting process?
I mean, they
getting
have
young
Gabriel
players.
Jesus, they have Martinelli, they have Saka.
If it was, but they
have
only have
Gabriel-
a starting lineup.
Yeah, but I mean,
Jesus is out, and now you have Nketiah, and that's all you have.
yeah, but they have the money to get improvements.
They do, but that Arsenal historically doesn't spend money.
well, they have been.
I mean,
these
they
past
have in the
couple
window,
windows.
January transfer window last
They
season.
spent like over 150
Yeah.
million
And how many windows?
in the past like 2 windows,
Yeah.
2.5 windows. We spent a lot of money.
They definitely have the backup.
All the other top sides spend more than that in one window.
Yeah,
of
but I mean, I
course.
think Arsenal will look at, we're competing for a title now.
Arsenal is
We're
spending.
competing for Europa League. We're gonna start spending to get
Well,
these.
Are you
titles.
saying we? Are you an Arsenal supporter?
No. I'm just saying like if you're the board, if you're the board.
He's an Arsenal supporter. This guy.
Ronaldo, he's betrayed Real Madrid.
No.
Argentina.
I said it. I see that.
Listen to this. He's gonna go to Match Weekly and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I heard you need people."
don't.
Colombian kid, messy phone background, calls himself a Real supporter, says we speaking about Arsenal. Hey, listen, young one.
Look,
You are a
I think
mess.
he's a little bit mad at Chelsea's on the decline right now.
You're on a mess. Actually, that's the exact opposite of what Chelsea's on.
Armando Broja out. I don't.
So
see
in your
Aubameyang-
lifetime, Chelsea's the most successful club in England.
No.
2 Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
League titles.
Diego
Like,
Costa was there.
we win everything. We've
No,
won everything.
I wouldn't say that though.
We're one of 5 teams to win every trophy you can compete for.
Guess who
You
else
guys
up
only
there?
won. You guys only won the Prem.
Guess who's up there? United.
Yeah.
We've won every trophy to compete for.
So, like when a city can go win a Champions League, when an Arsenal can go win a Champions League, when Spurs can go win a Champions League, like they can come talk to us.
Yeah, but
in the last
I feel
decade, we won
I
2.
feel like you guys are gonna be hurting though.
Why?
I just.
The squad's too good.
No, I don't mean.
Graham
the squad's
Potter.
too
Graham
good.
Potter
This is
is
a transition.
too good of a
Aubameyang's
manager.
looking
This is a trend.
flat.
This is a
Armando Broja flat. I mean, if you guys don't find a way to put in Ziyech in your squad, it's looking flat. I mean,
Guys are having
you
like
guys
this-
have not been anything.
This is
out of
gonna be a
Mount.
transitional
Nothing
season.
from Mount. I mean, I don't know, man.
I think it's gonna be a
I see your
transitional
team
season
a little
for
bit
you guys.
shaky. That's all I'm saying. I think you have the talent.
There's too much talent on the Chelsea team for it to be transitional, right? Look at Jorginho has spent the last month training.
But Jorginho,
Getting ready.
You guys have to replace Jorginho soon
Why?
because I mean, look, Jorginho's. I mean, I think he already reached his peak with winning the Champions League, winning the European Champions League. I moved to Italy. I mean, he's gonna. I haven't seen him at his best. Like, recently.
Well, as you get older, what do you lose? Physical attributes. Mourinho.
So you think
Jorginho.
you're thinking Jorginho's gonna hold on that Chelsea line for you guys to win Premier League titles in the future?
What?
You think he's gonna hold on that midfield for you guys?
If Graham Potter trusts him to, I trust him to. Listen, I will stand by what the
I think everyone's
professional
just scared.
managers
I think people
decide.
are just scared that Arsenal just might win it this year. Arsenal's like a sleeping giant. Don't
Exactly.
Forget that, man. I remember as a kid that we were winning.
I
And
definitely agree
Chelsea
that
was
they don't
like
have
14,
depth
15
at all,
players.
but
I don't know if you ever watched.
Chelsea were in 14, 15. So you're
I was
3
younger.
So you're 3 years older than me. So let's be real. Chelsea started winning European titles and started competing for things back in the 90s.
But I remember.
So that- so
they were,
that's what-
in
so
the
that's
bottom,
when-
they were nothing.
So that's when my dad became a Chelsea supporter. Was when we were winning, the Cup Winners' Cup
I mean,
and
you
stuff
guys
like
are,
that in the 90s.
In Europe, you guys have
In-
a way better record than Arsenal.
In the year 2000, we beat a certain United side 5-0.
Oh yeah.
Like Chelsea.
What happened the next game right after you beat us? What happened? What happened?
What do you
next
mean?
game after you beat us?
I don't know what
you
you're
got
talking about.
like you got like rocked by some other team, bro.
So Chelsea, the biggest lie is Chelsea only started playing well when Abramovich came in.
Well, no, everyone.
No, not that. No.
I mean, the money came in. That's when the money came in.
Yeah, that's when the money came in.
game
But
changed.
That money-
so before it was the Conte position, right? Who was the greatest defensive midfielder to play? Well, what was that role known as?
The Roy Keane rule.
The Makalele role. Former Chelsea player. Right? All of these great Dutch players played at Chelsea. Arjen Robben was Abramovich era. Right? But all the other, Ruud Gullit played at Chelsea. Like all these great players. Zola early on, Chelsea player. Like, people can hate all they want. I would be very terrified if I were other teams because American owners like Todd Bowley, who are super active and engaged, is not going to be good for the Premier League. Because if there's one thing Sachi Hot, former FC Motown head coach, former Red Bull player, said one thing. He said, if I can put my money on anyone, it is the American business person, the businessman, businesswoman in sports. Because MLS will succeed. Because it's being run by the same people that have turned the NBA, the NFL into international powerhouses. There's NFL games being held in Germany, in England, and it's to sold-out crowds.
But isn't Kroenke also an American owner?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So I mean, why wouldn't you do the same claim for Arsenal?
What?
Why would you make
Yeah,
the same
but
claim
like
for Arsenal?
at the same, I can say that because like Stan
So-
Kroenke was like silent for like he started now.
Because
Yeah, I know,
like
but
2-3
I mean that means he
years.
continued.
what other teams does what other teams does he own?
He owns the Nuggets. He owns the Avalanche. He owns the LA Rams.
Yeah.
So the Rams finally were good last year, right?
Arsenal's becoming the good
After they
this year.
relocated. And how often has he been as active as Todd Bowley has been in the last 6 months?
Active with the 130 mil they spent in the last.
Todd Bowley came in
I think
and
like 200
and
something, right?
he became the director of football at Chelsea and decided, all right, we're going in
Let's
and
put a
doing
pin in
everything.
this because we were sort of divulging off the topic we were talking about because we're looking at teams coming back post World Cup, and teams
Now,
we have to
we gotta
look
spread
out.
some Arsenal propaganda.
Well,
We
that's what I'm
got the
saying
United,
though.
we got
That's
the
why I start off
Chelsea.
with Arsenal because they're playing really well. They had a great system going, but now you're losing a talisman in Gabby Jesus who's been lights out for you so far. And then now we have City, with everyone coming back full fitness, having a five.
Julian Alvarez going to come back in form.
Dude, is he gonna start?
No,
He
ain't gonna
might.
start.
He might be starting over Mahrez. He might be. I can see it happening.
Yeah.
Doesn't. Yeah, but he can still play wide with Holland. You're gonna adjust for Holland. Cavani adjusted for Zlatan for how long? You think Julian Alvarez can adjust for Holland? Come on.
So you might put Julian Alvarez on the right instead of Mahrez on the right with the wing.
Why not?
Have you seen Mahrez on the wing?
I have seen Mahrez on the wing, but why not? If you're a City, why not? If you're Pep Guardiola, you'll do whatever you want.
Or do like a 4-4-2.
Yeah, exactly. But also the thing is that you have that going on with City. You have United coming back with everyone full fitness. Anthony didn't get injured. Fred didn't get injured. Casemiro didn't get injured. Dalot coming back, like looking better than ever. Bruno Fernandes looking like he's revitalized after the World Cup.
Well, we'll see.
You also have Chelsea. A lot of Chelsea players coming back full fitness from the World Cup.
Well, we'll see. Like, I think
I'm really curious what Newcastle does because Newcastle's had a break. They only had Bruno Guimaraes getting called up and Trippier.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's the
How
restart to the
Wilson
league.
play.
The restart to the league is going to be like it's the beginning of the season all over again.
Yeah.
There's no more momentum for anyone. There's no more momentum. That early season momentum Arsenal had is gone.
Nah, I don't think it's gone.
No, but it's gone. Like they don't have you don't have a run of games. You've gone a
Yeah,
month
it's
without
different.
playing a fixture.
No,
It's-
we just
Well, they're the
played
friendlies.
We did like the
Yeah.
friendlies.
yeah, but everyone's been playing those friendlies.
No, but he is sort of right in the fact that Arsenal, like, it wasn't like they're riding high off of it, but when you have that momentum going for you nonstop and you're in the sticks,
Yeah,
once you get a break from everything, it changes everything.
you have to rebuild a lot of that, the flow of the team and not the chemistry per se, but
Sort of like
just that overall
patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the little nuances of, like, when you're in season of, like, oh, we know this is happening today. Like, oh, I know today I'm doing this, and this is the routines. Once you change your routine and go back to a different routine,
It
it's
takes a
hard
while.
to
Of course,
readjust.
it's
Yeah,
wild
it's
to
readjusting.
adjust.
so
But I
it's
think
it's
there's
like
more
we're
of a
back to
togetherness.
August.
I think it's everyone's just at that club is just together. Everyone's like playing as like a team.
Yeah, for everyone who didn't get
yeah.
called up. Because then everyone who's coming back from... Guess what? Everyone coming back
Well,
from the
Ben
World
White
Cup.
really didn't play.
But no, but
Like,
it's
a lot of
the
these
fact
guys-
of, like, that they weren't with the team in that break. So now everyone's going to be reacting differently with one another.
So everyone that left Arsenal, Chelsea, City, Spurs, whatever, the last thing in the world they cared about for the last month was their club team.
Yeah.
You get called to the national team to play at the World Cup. That is your only focus in the world. Is you only care what happens to your national team right now. To get back into the swing of things, and listen, for those clubs that have players that have been playing through to the late rounds, are going to suffer more because these are players who aren't going to be as well rested as like Newcastle will be.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get back in the swing of things. Listen, it'll happen right away because they're world-class players. But Arsenal was on a roll. They were table flying high leading into the international break for the World Cup. It's always going to stagnate because of a month in between.
But I mean, this is the first World Cup that happened in the winter. I mean, we've never seen this ever before.
What?
How do we know what's going to happen? We can't-
Because that's human nature. It's so somebody who I coach if my teams take 2 weeks off, there will be a settling in period. We take 1 week off, there's a settling in period. People have to get back into the swing of things. You take a month plus off, there's a settling in period. Because, yeah, they've been playing friendlies and stuff, but that's not at 100% with your first team out there. And they're not meaningful matches. And for someone like an Arsenal, I feel horrible because they lost Gabby Jesus. That is a massive, massive loss for them.
Man, that guy was the link.
You know, so now losing that is a morale killer, and coming back and you have to rebuild things. Not that Arsenal isn't going to start off playing well right off the bat. They will, but they're coming back playing well at a lower level than where they were. Everyone kick off
the 26th or the 7th. I think it's the 26th.
I mean, I think every
December 17th, Arsenal plays Juve. So the 26th.
Yeah, that's West Ham. We should probably be West Ham.
Hopefully.
Then you don't know if you should probably because every team's going to look different now. Declan Rice coming back from World Cup. Vlasic coming back from... Oh, actually, no, Vlasic went to Torino. I'm wrong. My apologies. But everyone coming back from World Cup is going to be different.
Yeah.
And
so that whole
that's
month
the
of
thing.
December and January is going to just be like...
It's crazy.
It's going to be weird.
It's gonna be crazy. You'll see teams from the lower half of the table who didn't send guys to the World Cup, or guys who lost in the early rounds look really strong because they've been training so much all together. The bigger clubs times.
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, and then they go back to Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, they're all of these. Cup, we've had 65 fixtures in 1 month, but the Prem's probably going to have over 80 within the span of 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's gonna be like that for all the leagues. We're Prem
I wouldn't
heavy.
say all the leagues because the Bundesliga it usually has this.
They have like that. They have like
yeah,
that.
but not a month off.
They
like
usually,
that's
they usually have 5 weeks off, dude.
no. Over the last couple years, they've been.
But I'm just saying
waning
Germany in
off.
general. Germany as a league usually
Don't they
they'll
have like
start-
a break? Like
Yeah, they have a winter break,
right?
so they'll start from like middle of December and end like first week, second week of January.
No, so they've been waning off that recently, but I mean,
They're going back. I think they're going back in January. They're gonna play again.
yeah. So
I'm just curious to see how the Prem adjusts to it. 'Cause it's
the
first time
next
the Prem's had a
Bundesliga
break
match
like that.
is January 20th.
Yeah, they have their winter break.
20th.
They have their winter break.
20th. 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks after the
Double
Prem.
check all the leagues because I know Bundesliga's gonna have a bit of time off. La Liga I don't think starts up right away, if I'm not mistaken.
Serie A's first match is January 4th.
Yeah, they're waiting till the new year
It's just Premier League. That's just insane.
because they have to catch up, especially with TV rights and stuff and deals they have. They have to.
La Liga is
Right.
December 29th, so a couple days after the Prem.
Yeah. So Liga and Prem are going to be in full force as soon as everyone gets back from the
And
World
what
Cup.
about Ligue 1, like the French?
Liga? No one cares.
Yeah, no.
No one cares.
Nobody cares about Ligue 1.
I like that. Ligue 1's decent. I watch it sometimes.
League PSG.
No, Farmers League.
The
as they call
Killian
it.
Ligue 1.
Oh my god. What are our final thoughts here for today about everything about World Cup, our teams coming back from the World Cup? What was our final thoughts about everything? Because this is the last episode of Match Week before the World Cup final.
But so this is the craziest thing. Between now and over the next couple weeks, we'll have a World Cup semifinal, final, leagues kicking off. A couple days later, the transfer window opens.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these players are going to see like incredible transfers come in, like a Gvardiol.
Guess what? Transfer window opens. Guess what? Everyone's favorite segment comes back. That's right, people. In January, be expecting Ink
or
or
Stink.
Stink to
That's
come
right.
back. No call to actions. If you want to listen, our Ink or
Yeah.
Stink section, you can if you'd like to. No call to actions to WMC 9.3 FM. But yes, Ink or Stink will be making its return for the January transfer window.
Yeah, and like, so how crazy is that? Like, we're gonna go from the drama of the World Cup to league starting back up, Arsenal fans crying to the transfer market opening. Like, it's gonna be, it's gonna be crazy. And there's players that have really upped their stock at the World Cup, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Enzo
like a
Fernandez.
Guardiola, an Enzo Fernandez.
he's
Enzo,
going
here's the thing, because
He's going to Liverpool.
he went
He's
to
going to
Benfica for $8 million. How much are Benfica gonna sell him for? I want to know.
100.
They're definitely gonna get some ridiculous price tag for him.
Yeah, no, he's been great. You know, I think there's a dozen or so, maybe more players that really half the Moroccan national team.
Yeah. Honestly.
But like the goalkeeper, the Moroccan goalkeeper, Livakovic from Croatia, you know, like there are some of these players that are going to get big transfers because of World Cup. I mean, listen, James Rodriguez had to take one really nice goal out of World Cup to go to Real Madrid. So you'd imagine the Moroccan goalkeeper should end up at Real Madrid too or something.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but like replacing Thibaut Courtois is hard to do.
yeah, great backup.
A great backup. I don't
Listen,
know.
nobody in the world turns down being a
I don't
fifth
know,
string keeper at Real Madrid.
No, but I don't think anyone wants to end up like Keylor Navas though.
Poor Keylor Navas, man.
Poor Keylor Navas, most disrespected keeper in history.
But like, first of all, Guardiola, by the way, Guardiola has possibly been the best defender of the World Cup, dude. He's been so good.
The best
so
defender?
good. He's been so good, dude. Like watching him play, the fact that he's 20 years old,
You want to know who went like under the radar, like under
unremarkable.
I think John Stones had a sensational World Cup as a center back, dude. I didn't see a single mistake come from him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think he was made to look good because he was playing next to the legendary Slabhead.
The refrigerator.
I mean, so Bessel, did you see the statistics that Harry Maguire has like the highest
Yeah, those are
percentile
stats,
for
man. They don't pass
completed
the eye
long
test.
balls?
Really?
For accuracy, like yeah.
I got these. The
He got-
eyes don't lie.
The eye test doesn't lie.
You're the only one slandering Maguire, bro.
Because you guys don't understand what it's like to have a player you invest all of your hope in just for it to get chopped down. Okay.
Well, Ronaldo? I mean, Maguire.
Maguire
Oh.
and Ronaldo too.
You guys got a lot of those problems.
Dimitrios,
Yes, sir.
what's your final thoughts, bud?
Argentina wins World Cup.
Argentina wins the World Cup. That's
And
crazy.
Arsenal is gonna maybe end up second place.
And just to let everyone know, the first episode of Match Week post World Cup, we will be discussing who is the greatest of all time, depending on the World Cup result. So be tuned in for that if you'd like to. No call to actions here at WMC 90.3 FM. But yeah, Dimitrios, that's a valid,
That's what I think. I just think
prediction. Can't blame you.
John Obi Mikel,
John Obi Mikel.
greatest of all time.
Steven, final thoughts? What are we thinking?
Man, France goes back to back. Mbappe, top scorer of the tournament. He secures his second World Cup. And then, yeah.
If anything happens, you all are getting soundbited so hard. It's going to be so funny.
Messi lives in his shadow at PSG.
My only prediction is Argentina does not win the World Cup.
Yeah, I will say that.
Because that's what I'm hoping
Either
for.
Morocco or France, I think Morocco can definitely pull something off.
If Morocco can beat France, they'll ride that wave all the way to the World Cup title.
I think Argentina has versed a team that, just give it to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think Morocco's had the toughest ride to the semis.
Yeah, they have.
They-
They've had the toughest.
Croatia,
ride of
Belgium,
Spain.
Spain, Portugal.
Yeah.
everybody. Could you maybe argue France? Because they had to come up against England. They had to come up against Poland.
Poland was
They were
horrible.
so bad.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they're bad.
Like if there was a sound effects button here, the
Wait,
wah
hold on, I
wah
got one. I got sound effects for you.
wah,
Hold on.
like it was like Poland was so
Poland was
bad.
They were really bad against.
And like there's a huge Polish population in New Jersey, so I have a lot of Polish friends.
This is what everyone thought of Poland. Where is it? Where is it? I just saw it
Oh,
and
yeah.
it disappeared.
Little Yachty
I mean-
forgot to bring the...
Brother, this guy stinks!
Yes. Oh my god.
Just leaving Lewa up top there by himself.
Lewa on penalties is what that sound effect is. Oh my god. Like they were so bad, but
But yeah, this
Little
World Cup-
Yachty forgot to bring the walk to Poland. That's all it is.
Yo, Drake really cursing Canada. I think we all forget the Drake curse and how like he's basically like doomed Canada.
No, he just cursed every time. Every time he takes a picture with like a player or he holds a jersey, they're
Yeah.
done all the time.
But guys, I think that'll wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for coming on, Besmir. It's been a pleasure finally having you back. You're probably gonna disappear for another 6 months.
no, probably, but no, it was great being back. Thanks for having me, Artie. Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
Dimitrios, of course, you and I have had a legendary interview with Jaime Grimberg. I'm glad to have
sir.
you back.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Steven, hopefully next time you're back on Match Week, you will be DJ certified.
That's just tomorrow, yeah.
And maybe we'll have a MLS show in the works. Maybe. Perhaps. Who knows? If Thomas Gaffney's down with you. Another resident Match Week supporter here. But ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening Top of the Hour on WMSC Upper Montclair. And this is Match Week. Make sure you tell somebody you love them. I'll see you next time. Bye.